Archeologists and historians have struggled to explain the meaning of this. What I call the Gucci of the gods. What exactly are these handbags and watches? Is that a pocket dimension in that pocketbook? You're going to want to pay attention to this episode because it's not going to go the way you think. It's like the definition of a paradox. Can't be, but somehow is. Hello, my name's Christopher Anatra. I'm the consciousness within the hologram you know as the quantum businessman. Perhaps you're a consciousness within a human DNA hologram too. Perhaps you are a symphony of hard light technology frequencies within a holographic symphony of realities that makes you, you. What brought me to making these videos? The Mandela effect. What is the Mandela effect? Mandela effects are like Easter eggs in a video game. They are hints and wonderful surprises that we have experienced a timeline shift in what I call the Earth game. Mandela effects can also be classified as negative or positive timeline insertions, in the same way a chess player makes moves to win a game. They are the consequences of that timeline insertion to show those that are observant that a different timeline has been stitched in by those that are manipulating the natural order. Mandela effects show us that what we believe to be reality is not exactly reality. Because if this reality was true and unchanging, we wouldn't have Mandela effects. The way the reality rules work in the Earth game, you need to at least be provided the pieces to the puzzle so that you can awaken in the dream, level up in the Earth game. Most of the time, that is through a process known as soft disclosure. Soft disclosure is the revealing of information, usually in books, movies, and other entertainment, that one might view as make pretend, or fantasy, or science fiction. In this presentation, I'm going to use a lot of soft disclosure from cartoons, movies, and science fiction to help you understand and really grasp that the answers are always around us. As you watch this presentation, remember the famous words of Sherlock Holmes. When one has eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. The Mandela effect also brought me to something called the Akashic records. The Akashic records is a term given to a library of information which exists in a higher dimension. You have your own Akashic records, which are contained in the higher frequencies of your DNA. It includes information about all your past lives on Earth and the cosmos. Everything that makes you, you. The Akashic records also contain the history of Earth, which some can tap into as information flows into your heart like a river of truth. The Akashic records reveal the truth about history, solving mysteries that have eluded historians and archaeologists. Archaeologists and historians have struggled to explain the meaning of what I call the Gucci of the gods. What exactly are these handbags and watches? Welcome to Act 7, Concepts, Scene 1, Gucci of the gods. We are first going to focus on the handbag of the gods. Perhaps we may also be solving the mystery of why some women literally can't find items they put into their purse. Or perhaps that is a mystery that cannot be solved. Whether it be the Anunnaki deities of the ancient Assyrians and Sumerians, including Dogon, the Assyrian god and merperson, Quetzalcoatl in ancient Mexico, the ancient Mayans, megaliths on the island of Sumba in Indonesia, and even Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. We see a consistency of something that appears to be in the shape of a handbag on statues, hieroglyphs, and megalithic structures. How could all these ancient cultures spread out all over the earth have this extremely identical looking handbag? What is it, and what is its purpose? What's in the purse? Let's just say it appears they love their Gucci, or Versace, or Chanel, or Kate Spade, or Coach, or Louis Vuitton, or whatever. Just as some women today might show their status with their many thousands of dollars handbags, perhaps some of the elite Anunnaki showed their status by being depicted with one of these handbags. What exactly is this handbag? Some have speculated it could be a universal image for the cosmos, or a bag of seeds, or even a bag of mind-altering drugs. The answer from the Akashic records, what I call the Internet of the Universe, and theoretical physics will astound and fascinate you. Can't be, but somehow is. I'm pretty sure they don't teach this in archaeology school, yet. Are you ready to have your consciousness expanded? Because there's no going back after you watch this episode. Can I get a drum roll, please? This handbag of the gods, or bag o' plenty, or bag of holding, or pocketbook, or purse, represents technology. What kind of technology? The technology of pocket dimensions, or bubbles of reality within bubbles of reality. It's a concept that's been theorized in theoretical physics and made popular in science fiction movies, even Disney cartoons.
Igitus figitus sumba kazee. I want your attention, everything. We're packing to leave. Come on, let's go. No, not you. Books are always first, you know. Pockety, wockety, whack. Abracadabra, knack. Shrink in size, very small. We got to save enough room for all. Higitus, figitus, small.
It's a concept that many of us have been exposed to by Dr. Seuss in Horton Hears a Who. Horton the elephant discovers the civilization known as Whoville on a speck on a flower.
Hey, seriously, who is this? Is this Bert from accounting?
No. This is Horton. I'm an elephant.
Okay, Horton, fake name. Where are you?
Well, from where you're standing, I guess I'm in the sky.
Compared to you, I'm enormous, which is saying something because I've slimmed down quite a bit. I swim. Your whole world fits on a flower in my world.
Oh man, this is even pushing it for you, Bert.
Let's keep on pushing our consciousness. It's soft disclosure and a concept made popular in science fiction TV shows like Doctor Who and the TARDIS. The TARDIS is a time-traveling blue police box, which is much bigger on the inside than the outside.
It's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside.
So much bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside!
The bigger on the inside phone box.
Bigger on the inside?
Yes, it's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside. You know, I get that a lot.
Well, the bigger on the inside starts leaking to the outside. It grows.
It's bigger on the inside.
And it's bigger on the inside than the outside.
It's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside than the outside. Look, it's bigger on the inside. Bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside, it's bigger on the inside, it's bigger on the inside. How can it be bigger on the inside, Bennett? It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Hey, we got there!
It's a concept and soft disclosure in the movie Fantastic Beasts, where an entire magical world of fantastic beasts can be accessed through a suitcase.
Come on.
pasaste.
If you'd have got out, that could have been quite catastrophic.
The book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, mention a type of magic called an undetectable extension charm to allow unlimited items to fit into a bag.
Need to change.
Oh, Roddy.
Undetectable extension charm.
You're amazing, you are.
Always the total surprise. That'll be the books.
In the Marvel Comics universe, it's been explored in the series Ant-Man and something called the Pym particle, which can make objects like cars and buildings and even people shrink down to the quantum level and then grow back up in size.
I grabbed your clothes. You might want to change.
Look, I'd really like to help you out. But if I'm not home when they come to take off my ankle monitor, then I'm going away forever.
Once we get the component and power up the tunnel, we'll get the message and have you home by lunch. We have to hurry. The entanglement won't last.
You owe us.
All right, fine. But can I just wait inside? Because I'm not supposed to be out here.
Let's go.
This isn't just about science fiction or fantasy. It has scientific, theoretical, and mathematical possibilities. A pocket universe or bubble universe or pocket dimension or universe within a multiverse or even handbag of the gods is a concept in inflationary theory of theoretical physics. What is inflationary theory? It's a theory which brings together ideas from quantum physics and particle physics to explore the early moments of the universe, following the Big Bang. Developed in 1980 by particle physicist Alan Guth, inflation theory is today generally considered a widely accepted component of the Big Bang theory and explains the possibility of pocket universes or pocket dimensions. In talking about this concept, note what particle physicist Alan Guth said about inflation theory and pocket universes.
The other argument that I rely on is the simple fact that there's a lot of evidence for inflation, and almost all versions of inflation lead automatically to eternal inflation, inflation that once it starts never ends. And this eternal inflation goes on, producing what in this context we usually call pocket universes, but we would be living in one of these pocket universes.
So that's in a sense a two-step process to the multiverse. One is that you need inflation in this universe to explain how this universe works, and then when you have inflation, when you look at inflation, you say, whoops, you know,
right.
once I get this thing
once
started.
Once you got it, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, right,
exactly.
right.
So even though we can't see these other universes, we can say that the same theories that give us the best explanation we have of the properties of our visible universe predicts that it's going to go on forever, producing an infinite number of pocket universes.
The concept of pocket dimensions has many other thought leaders of quantum physics and the holographic universe talking. Professors of theoretical physics, such as Leonard Susskind of Stanford University, have spoken about the possibility of pocket dimensions or bubble universes within universes.
The expectation then is that the universe is extremely big, much bigger than we can see, and full of all different kinds of environments.
Yeah, and some would describe each of the separate pieces of the whole universe, depends how you use the term, as a pocket universe or a bubble universe squeezed off from the rest with its own separate laws created by this inflation, which may have ended in our pocket universe, but continues on in others and
continues on in others and continues to bubble and froth and create more and more and more environments.
Pocket dimensions or bubble universes squeezed off from our universe and continues to bubble and froth and create more and more bubbles or pockets of reality. So what is a pocket dimension? Can I get a drum roll, please? A pocket dimension is two bubbles of dimensional technology coming together. A smaller, compact pocket or box or bag or territory space or Doctor Who TARDIS or Fantastic Beasts suitcase being fit into another reality. One territory space that is fit into another territory space related to spatial energy, then detaching one space from another, and then making the boundaries of the space you wish to compress, and then completely detaching from the main bubble or territory space. A separate dimension or bubble or territory not operating under the rules of the main bubble or dimension. Its own handbag world of fantastic beasts within a suitcase or bubble of reality with a different set of reality rules. And who said the multiverse was boring? The next topic to discuss is who can create pocket dimensions. Perhaps this technology existed in Lemuria and Atlantis. Perhaps some of the elite Anunnaki, using physical technology like an actual handbag, could create pocket dimensions. It reminds me of an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation involving the holodeck when Data played the part of Sherlock Holmes. For those of you that don't know, a holodeck is a room on the Starship Enterprise which uses holographic technology to create realistic 3D simulations using hard light technology, where you could freely interact with the environment, objects, and characters. Wait, think about this. What if Earth were a starship and we were in a holodeck? Nah, that can't be. In this episode of Star Trek, with Data playing the part of Sherlock Holmes, Professor Moriarty, who is a holographic character within the game, discovers that he's not real.
I have felt new realities at the edge of my consciousness readying to break through. Surely, Holmes, if that's who you truly are, you, of all people, can appreciate what I mean.
Data. Say nothing.
I know that there is a great power called computer, wiser than the Oracle at Delphi. A power which controls all of this, and to which we can speak. Arch.
Data, this is right. A holographic image should not be able to call for the arch.
Professor Moriarty becomes aware that he is a holographic character with consciousness and asks to be free.
As I said before, you are only a holographic image, I know. But are you sure? Oh, yes. Does he have life? He's a machine, but is that all he is? No, he is more. Exactly. Is the definition of life cogito ergo sum? I think, therefore I am. Yes, that is one possible definition. It is the most important one. And for me, the only one that matters. You or someone asked your computer to program a nefarious fictional character from 19th century London, and that is how I arrived. But I am no longer that creation. I am no longer that evil character. I have changed. I am alive, and I am aware of my own consciousness.
To solve this conundrum, Professor Moriarty is placed within technology, which is an entire holographic universe within a cube.
How did you do it, sir? We managed to program the holodeck inside the holodeck and use the same ruse that Moriarty used on us.
When he was attempting to contact the real bridge, he was in fact speaking to a simulation.
You mean he never knew he hadn't left the holodeck?
In fact, the program is continuing to run even now inside that cube.
A miniature holodeck?
In a way, Doctor. However, there is no physicality. The program is continuous, but only within the computer's circuitry.
As far as Moriarty and the Countess know, they're halfway to Melis 2 by now. This enhancement module contains enough active memory to provide them with experiences for a lifetime.
They will live their lives and never know any difference.
In a sense, you did give Moriarty what he wanted.
In a sense, but who knows? Our reality may be very much like theirs, and all this might just be an elaborate simulation running inside a little device sitting on someone's table.
Can you feel your consciousness expanding? Simulations within simulations, pocket dimensions within universes. The Anunnaki were known to use physical technology, including devices on their wrists. Devices that resembled a watch, or perhaps like an Apple Watch or iPhone. Let me pause here for a moment, because many Anunnaki scenes, including showing some on their wrist like a watch, what is that? Are you ready for more consciousness expansion? Perhaps the ancients were far more advanced than we could even imagine. Perhaps that wristwatch-looking device represented the accumulation of technology in one device, exactly like an iPhone or Apple Watch or Android device, perhaps used for time telling, communication, teleportation, healing, reprogramming DNA, camouflage, defense bubble shield, call your ship to you, and even time travel. What about that flower-looking symbol on the watch? Perhaps that represented a frequency. Frequencies like we can observe through the science of cymatics, harmonious geometric shapes and symbols. Cymatics is the study of visible sound and vibration. It usually entails sand or water on a vibrating plate or speaker. Different frequencies of sound produce distinctly different geometric patterns. Can't be, but somehow is. Cymatics as demonstrated by Nigel Stanford in this video. The frequency pattern on that wristwatch of the gods would change depending on what was being activated. Cymatic frequency symbols that can be seen on Tartarian buildings, such as Westminster Abbey in England, perhaps to indicate which type of frequency that structure would generate. The frequency symbol on Westminster Abbey does look to be a similar frequency symbol on the watch of the Anunnaki, perhaps indicating reprogramming DNA in a positive way. Remember that if you want to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. All of creation is a symphony of sound. It's a symphony of light composed of photons, which are literally sound waves in the ether. Perhaps you are literally a symphony of frequencies within a symphony of realities. Perhaps our DNA is our computer source code that defines who we are as we render our human avatar body made up of frequencies to these exact X, Y, and Z coordinates of time and space within this hologram. Perhaps you are like cymatics, but far, far, far more complex than just one single frequency. A symphony of complex frequencies generated by your DNA and RNA that makes you you. We've addressed the possible technology side to these handbags and wristwatches, the Gucci of the gods, but now let's address another possibility. Who else could create pocket dimensions? Perhaps beings that have spatial magic awareness. Perhaps this is much more common than technology. Perhaps you might think of stories about a multidimensional witch in the woods living in her hidden cabin. Stories like this are common in Hindu and Chinese mythos. Perhaps it could also include Time Lords. What is a Time Lord? Perhaps a Time Lord is like Doctor Who from the science fiction TV series. The Doctor Who show is actually an initiation for the concept of a Time Lord to come into your mind. an alien with advanced time abilities. Perhaps it would also include travelers. What is a traveler? Can I have a drum roll, please? A traveler is someone who can easily change their X, Y, and Z coordinates within space-time. Your X and Y coordinates represent your physical location, and your Z coordinate is your location within time. Perhaps important artifacts such as the Ark of the Covenant, which is the most sacred relic of the Israelites, have been hidden away in a pocket dimension. Who knows what treasures are kept secret and hidden away in pocket dimensions? To provide yet another level of possibilities for your consciousness expansion, perhaps these pocket dimensions and their creators can also provide a type of replicator technology. What is a replicator? Can I get a drum roll, please? That technology is explained in science fiction and shows such as Star Trek.
I believe it's a molecular synthesizer of some kind, similar to a protein resequencer, but far more advanced. To water, cold. I saw a similar device in a Tarkalian vessel. It was capable of replicating almost any inanimate object.
If we had one of these in engineering, we could make all the spare parts we need. I wonder what else is on the menu. One pan-fried catfish. Smells like the real thing.
Well?
Not bad.
I doubt there's a catfish within 130 light years.
Its genome is stored in Enterprise's computer, as is the recipe. The station evidently scanned our database.
Let's take this one step further. Perhaps this replicator pocket dimension possibility could have been expressed in the Bible. Perhaps an advanced being, such as Jesus, could have manifested it. Are you familiar with the story in the Bible of the loaves and the fishes, and how Jesus fed a multitude of about 5,000 people with just one basket of loaves and one basket of fish?
Jesus took the bread, gave thanks to God, and distributed to the people who were sitting there. He did the same with the fish. And they all had as much as they wanted.
Could an advanced being, such as Jesus, have used a type of pocket dimension replicator to produce enough food to feed that crowd of 5,000? Can't be, but somehow is. What about those 3 handbags on the pillar at Göbekli Tepe? Perhaps they represented multiple pocket dimensions that were utilized at that location in Turkey by those that were escaping the cataclysm of Atlantis. Perhaps even pocket dimensions created in Atlantis. Pocket dimensions that could hold species of animals and even the tools to rebuild a civilization. So what do you think about all this? Handbags and wristwatches of the gods, Gucci of the gods. Perhaps Some women who can never find what they're looking for in their purse have actually created a pocket dimension, a bubble of reality within a bubble, a world of fantastic beasts within a suitcase, which started with its own little Big Bang. Perhaps we actually did solve this mystery. And not that I'm singling out women who lose things in their purse, but perhaps they use magic they don't even realize they have and create a pocket dimension Big Bang in their purse. Another possibility is mischievous fairies. You never know. Perhaps we actually do live within a multiverse with countless bubbles of reality and pocket dimensions.
Every Big Bang produces a universe. Was there just one Big Bang, or were there many Big Bangs occurring at different places at different times? People think that the idea of a multiverse sounds horribly unscientific, like science fiction, wild thoughts. But from my point of view, and from I think a lot of us working in this area, it's really the other way around. How many things do we know about in science that we think we can understand that happen only once? Is there only one star? Is there only one planet? Anything that can happen that can be described by the laws of physics happens again and again. So I think it's far more likely from this point of view that we live in a multiverse than that we live in a single universe.
The geometry of space. Big bangs within big bangs. Pocket universes within pocketbooks. Can't be, but somehow is. Has your consciousness been expanded? Maybe just a little?
God! Oh, is it bigger?
Yes.
On the inside.
Look, we need to concentrate.
There it is.
Yep, I know where you're going with this, but I need you to calm down.
On the outside?
Oh, you certainly grasped the essentials.
My entire understanding of physical space has been transformed. Three-dimensional Euclidean geometry has been torn up, thrown in the air, and snubbed to death. My grasp of the universal constants of physical reality has been changed forever.
Has your entire understanding of the physical space in the universe been transformed forever? Do you think we've solved the mystery of the handbags and watches of the gods, the Gucci of the gods? Can't be, but somehow is. Because when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Until next time, sending you and the infinite bubbles of reality within bubbles of reality, all the pocket dimensions in the multiverse, but most especially you, my love. Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream until your dreams come true.